There we go. All righty, boys and girls. Here we are together again for another beautiful Exploring Telepathy call. I'm Kevin Young. For those of you guys who are new here, I'm calling myself an intuitive coach for a long time because I help people move through the challenges that they've learned and then move into their own intuitive side so they can reconnect with higher consciousness, be more self-guided, more self-directed, more connected. And telepathy is just an ongoing component of that. It's a piece of the bigger picture, and I kind of like to help people move through the bigger picture. But I was thinking actually this morning that intuitive coach actually doesn't fit quite right anymore. So I'm kind of looking for something that can describe me more accurately as to what I really am doing now with my people who come across my plate because I love the work I do and I can feel it. Sometimes your work calls you, like it's like it wants you to move more into harmony with yourself and to be a more solid expression of yourself. And we always have some sort of resistance around that. So I use the word healer. Uh, I've added healing facilitator, intuitive coach, and healing facilitator, and yet there's still some compression and focus that needs to show up. And it looks like Scott's got some reflection, which I'd love to hear.
Well, you were saying that you were trying to think of another description, and I'm bringing a message today, what happened to me this week, which reminds me of an answer to what you were just saying, is you're teaching people to be kids again and return back to the creative when the seed from when they came here. To me, that talking about going back to the basics, go back to being 3 years old again and play. So.
Yeah, well, it's funny, but not funny that you say that because that message has come through in several of the uh, private channeling sessions I've had recently. In fact, just the one I had, Melissa and I worked together. Um, quite a bit. And the sort of the little Kevin that is the one that gets hurt and is holding those traumas and is wanting to be heard, felt, and supported has come through now a number of times, and specifically did just in the session we just had recently, earlier this week. And so, yeah, you're picking it up right on. And that's for somebody like me who's been in that sort of challenged state for so long, because you grew up in the challenging environment, and then a little kid kind of compresses. It's what is it that is fun for Kevin? What do I really enjoy doing? What would I let myself do if I didn't feel I had constraints? And in even imagining that, sometimes you can kind of feel a little contraction, like, well, what if I did express myself? What if I really was that person that I want to be and didn't care about what anybody else thought or said or did? How would that feel? Pretty dang good. And so I'm on that cusp of another one of those evolutions, and I know it'll express in my business and my career as a coach. I'm not liking the word coach much anymore. I think that's uh, people don't they take it a way that I don't mean it, which is coaching sometimes feels forceful, and I'm not at all forceful in my coaching. So it's a very interesting point, Scott. I'm going to actually add that I made myself a note here, but to include the little kid perspective. I think that's probably the best way to say it.
And I have a story of that happened this week when we get to that part of the call.
Yeah, I'm always eager to hear your stories and perspectives. And for everyone, that's why we're here. Share our experiences, what's working for us, and ask questions if you have challenges. And then we just have an open conversation around it and keep the energy high and positive. And then we'll do some telepathy practice nearer to the end as we get our energy going here. And the more in balance and alignment we come with ourselves and the group, then the more energy is going to flow between us, and you'll start to see common themes. It happens on every call. That why we showed up here, why we were intuitively inspired to be here. You'll start to see that other people are having the same questions or the same situations or sharing the same experiences. One of the magics, perspectives, components of this amazing universe. When vibrations align, experiences align. Law of attraction is the magic. So for today, I'm an intuitive coach, and tomorrow maybe something else. But and I'm also an admin in the Autism Telepathy Conversations community group that probably most of you guys came in here through. It's a magical place where we talk about telepathy in the non-speaking world and the speaking world as well, because the non-speakers are sort of the leading edge of this. They're the ones who are telepathic and are can't be disproved now. So science and larger communities are starting to say, well, wait a minute, is this real? Is there really such a thing as telepathy? Like, yeah, we're born telepathic. We're born connected to broader consciousness, which is where we come from, who we really are. And it's time we start relaxing this negative, fear based, warring approach to life and start chilling out and coming back into that harmonious perspective, which includes a telepathic connection to others, to animals, to nature, to our spiritual guides, our support system, the broader realm, whatever you call it and whatever you tune into. It's something that comes in through the heart, not through the head, making the journey out of the disconnected brain thoughts and back into the now moment heart space is where that connection occurs. And that's part of what we're going to be working on. I shouldn't say working on, playing around with this probably. I'm going to keep referring back to you all day, Scott. Back to the childlike play, which is where it all happens. So that's really the purpose of the calls, just exploring telepathy and the kind of the foundation that we want to create within ourselves to allow that to open up easily. And I probably don't even have to say it, but the purpose of these calls is not to prove telepathy exists. Okay? It's like proving gravity exists. It does, whether you tune into it or not, will determine the life experience you have. If you don't think the gravity exists and you step off a cliff, you'll quickly find proof that it does. Right? That's just kind of how it works. Same with what we're talking about today. So prove it to yourself. I see Jody says wonder. I love that word. Yes, wonder, curiosity about the world. So I think you guys all know how Zoom works. You can use the raise hand button down in the react menu that's got the little heart on, and you can click the raise hand, and that'll put your little orange or whatever color hand you have up in the window. That'll get my attention, but we're not so formal here. If you don't want to do that, you just want to come on and say something, you can go ahead and do that because this is all participation. Right? I'm leading it, but I'm just more facilitating it. It's about sharing who we are. So today, like we do most times, Melissa's going to lead us into meditation just to kind of quiet any um, anxiety, negative energy we brought in and kind of bring us back into harmony. We'll get into a chat about telepathy. Usually the meditation kind of leads into the conversation. It's just all kind of same vibration. And then nearer to the end, hopefully within about a half hour of the end, I'll lead us into a simple mind quieting exercise, and you can kind of chill out, relax, and see if you can open up your telepathic connection a bit. We got some techniques to share that might make it easier. And there's no pressure on any of this. We're just here to play around with it. No two people open up this channel the same way. So please use each other's experiences for inspiration only, not for comparison, because the comparative focus is a brain based and it shuts down the channel. So just relax into who you are and how you approach it. I do also recommend you have a pen and paper or a notes app or something for when we go through these exercises. You may very well bring through things you've never brought through before. And the human brain tends to, because it's coming through a different channel through the brain, through the pineal gland as opposed to in the frontal lobes, that then you might forget because it doesn't necessarily always get stored in the long-term memory. So it's good to have paper and pen. I've discovered that when we go into these broader mind quieting meditations, that you'd be ready to record something if it's important to you. Yeah, go ahead, Scott.
I just wanted to add to that I was going to tell some of the newer people here that's very important. I can't tell you, Kevin, how many times I've gone back and picked up the notebook, looked at the notes, and like, I don't remember that at all. And so, yeah, because it all comes through a different portion of your being, so to speak, it will fade. It's kind of like a dream state. You wake up and like 5 minutes later, like, what was that? And it was, anyway. So yes, pen, paper, notebook, or
Ready to
voice
rock.
recorder. I like voice recorders too. So
Yeah, yeah. And there's an abundance of technology these days, starting with the pen and paper that we can use to record things if it's important to you. Don't worry if it's not. All right. I think that's enough out of me for now. Melissa, are you ready to rock and roll here?
Sure, thank you. Yes.
Highlighted.
I'm talking about like our names. I've talked to you about it many times or what, like who we are, and I still come back to me. I just want to put that as my name. I'm just me as you unravel all the layers and really figure out who you are. It's really just you're me. And or you're you, but you're also me. So like we are all one. So everybody's the same person, really. I'm really excited to be here. I am a telepathic communicator. I can channel with animals and people and spirits and the nonverbal kids. And I'm so excited to be here today with all of you and be in this beautiful energy and do a little meditation for us all to bring us into a space together and bring calmness and energy. And that's something I've been working on myself, is safety within the body. And I feel the safer we are within our bodies, we are allowed more to remember who we are, and the layers peel away, and we bring in another notch of who we truly are. And so with that, everyone just settle in and be where it feels comfortable to you, sitting, standing, laying. Get into that space. Taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose. And exhale gently through your mouth. Just let yourself arrive here and now. Feeling your body resting. Noticing how the earth feels beneath you. It's already holding you with safety and love, Mother Earth. You don't have to do anything right now to be supported. It's automatic. It's already happening right now, right here. Let your breath start to move a little lower into your body, down into your belly, and into your ribs and your back. Each breath that you're taking right now is telling your body it's safe to be here. It's safe to be softened. It's safe to be you. Now I want you to see this beautiful, warm, golden light at the base of your spine, where your body and the earth meet in this beautiful, warm, safe energy. And with each breath, this beautiful light rises gently up into your belly and your chest and your shoulders, throughout your whole body, reminding that every cell in your body is safe to be here right now. As this golden light, it starts to reach your heart, breathe into that heart space. Feeling that golden light expanding, and it's growing brighter and glowing brighter with every breath you take right now. And when your body feels safe, then your heart begins to remember who you are. Maybe you're feeling a little warmth, or you're seeing some different colors, or sense just some quiet peace and calming within. Whatever you're feeling and noticing right now, just know that it's perfect. And begin to imagine this beautiful heart light radiating outward. These beautiful, gentle threads of gold are connecting to every being in this circle right now. To the animals, to the humans, to the children, to the spirits. All of us are connected through these beautiful golden threads. See if you can visualize these threads connecting all of us right now. You don't need words to communicate here. This beautiful light itself, it carries your truth. The love here is the language that we all understand. Breathe deeply. Let this beautiful light and these threads from your heart, let them move through your whole nervous system. They're calming and soothing, and they're rebalancing your body. Let your body feel what it's like to be home inside yourself. No pretending and no effort to be there. You're just here in the now, in the present moment. Notice how your energy feels. Does it feel a little more clear? Maybe a little softer? Are you feeling more connected? Safety is the doorway to your true voice, to your intuition, and your telepathic connection. When your body feels safe, everything else aligns. Take another slow breath in and exhale fully, letting that nervous system calm even deeper. Let this golden light settle wherever it wishes in your body. Maybe it settles in your heart, or your belly, your throat. It's anchoring this feeling of safety for you and remembering who you truly are. And when you're ready, just begin to bring your awareness back to the space around you. Feeling your body supported and your heart beating slow and steady. Take a final breath of gratitude for yourself, for showing up and being here, giving this time for just you. Gratitude for everyone in this circle and all the beautiful threads that are connecting all of us with love. For all the animals, the children, and the spirits who joined us today in this beautiful meditation. You are safe. You are loved. You are home here within yourself. You can always return to this beautiful place and this space within yourself. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back.
Thank you, Melissa.
You're
Very
welcome.
nice. I always appreciate those, but I never know how much I need them until after we're done.
That's
One,
beautiful.
yeah. One of the things I realized partway through was that hadn't been breathing fully up to this point. I had a good night's sleep, one of the best I've had in a long time. And I thought I was doing good this morning, taking my time, and then you start to spill some coffee or you knock something over. Or it's like, oh wait, I've slipped back and I didn't even notice it. And that was the energy I was starting to release as I got on the call. But this helped me to see where I was actually not breathing fully. I was still holding on to something. There was kind of like lower root and sacral chakra tension was still there that I wasn't even aware of. And obviously, that's part of the journey is becoming aware. So the breathing alone was very helpful. So thank you for
Breath
doing
is life.
that. Breath is life.
Even
Exactly.
though it truly is, because it just really is when you think about it. But truly, the breathing, I've noticed my own self, the deeper the breaths I'm allowed to get in, that has also helped breaking up the fascia in the body.
Mm.
And so that helps release that fear that's stored inside of us also. And that allows the safety to come in us even more. I was just going to talk a little bit about even the safety in the body just from the meditation.
Mm.
Like what comes to me even during the meditation is just that feeling of calmness and peace within, and just feeling the deep connection with all of us. I truly felt and envisioned and saw the golden threads of all of us connected together, just as in one big, huge circle. And these little threads were all
Mm.
intertwined in us and within us, and who's within them, and your children and our animals. And we were just this one beautiful, big, collective circle of love just bursting at the seams. And that's truly what it's all about, is just bringing ourselves back to this space and this place of remembrance, and then that helps go into our own selves and the safety, and that helps our little kid also. That helps that little child within feel safe here, and knowing that it's safe to be us as adults also. And so it's just bringing in all of that love for all of us. And it doesn't mean that everything's perfect. It doesn't mean that the coffee doesn't still spill. It doesn't mean that we don't still stub our toe or that stuff happens, because those are the little reminders, just like you said, Kevin, that, oops, something's off. Let's do a recheck and a rebalance. And then we come back to center. And it's not easy every day. And every day that we do this, I've noticed my own self. Life has been, from even a month ago, from even 3 months ago, from a year ago, just looking back at the steps and of like how I would be wound like an 8-day clock. And now I am much calmer to the point I don't even know myself sometimes, because I'm just like, who are you? This calm girl. And from doing that, my animal is Harley. Hendrix is very calm, but Harley is my mirror. And the calmness within her, even the last few weeks to month, is it's impeccable. It's impeccable of what happens when we find that calmness within ourselves and work at it every day, it literally ripples out to family, friends, animals, pets, children, everyone, because again, we are one consciousness. And so by me doing the work, it's going to help. It'll ripple to the next person, or they'll feel it in my energy, or I feel it in your energy when I work with you. And being on the call just with all of us right here, you can just feel this love and this this space, and it's just it's energizing to your soul. When you leave, it's like you could go do cartwheels because you just feel so, overjoyed from being here. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that, and
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And
let's
for
see
the
who's got something else to share.
yeah. So, anybody have other experiences you want to share about in the meditation? No pressure or anything. Just if something popped up for you that you didn't notice before, or you had a shift, or you tuned into something that, yeah, Scott.
So, I had a meet my spirit guide session fairly recently, earlier this year, and one of my guides is a little 3-year-old by the name of Ben, and she's was with me this morning and made herself known during the meditation, and so thus one of the reasons she's keeping the topic on kids.
Hmm.
Because it's an important message, and not only with today's call, but after I'm done, I'm doing a very important uh, session on my computer that's going to involve kids. And so she's very much guiding it today. But I cried when I saw her. So
Ah, yeah.
I still don't know our connection. There's some connection in a past life that I don't know. We know each other somewhere, but I don't ever question that stuff. I just like, thank you. I always just say thank you, you know.
Yeah. 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 It's interesting how much the brain wants to know and validate. But as you're demonstrating, we don't need that. We just enjoy the moment and then we get the message. We get what we needed in the moment. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. I'm excited for you. I love your journey, Scott. And I love that you share this with us because that inspires me to have those journeys more and more. Excuse me. Hazel, what would you like to share? Are you still there? Got to unmute yourself. I know Hazel's in a place where her internet isn't very good. Are you there, Hazel? We can't hear you if you're speaking. All right, well, hold that thought. We'll go on to Annalie, and if Hazel comes back, then we'll go to Hazel. Go ahead, Annalie.
I had my brain was kind of active on and off through the meditation. So it just reminded me about things that I needed to think about, or my brain thought I needed to think about them right now. But it was really soothing and calming. I really love the meditation. Thank you, Melissa.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. And then I started to focus on the golden light. And when you said, feel where the light, I can't remember the wording, but where it like places itself in your body, my brain came like, oh, it should be like in your solar plexus and in your heart space. So that's where I kind of watched the light, but then I was like, that was my brain again. So I kind of released the brain, and the golden light rushed down to my feet like this. And that was interesting because I had some little bit of pain in my feet lately, and I went to luxurious foot massage, and it's so much better after this. I kind of given a bit of love to my feet this last week, and it's really so much better. And that was so interesting that light just totally just rushed down there. This is where I'm needed right now.
Yeah, nice to have that support rush in so quickly when you
Yeah,
kind of release the valve, as it were. Yeah, very nice. Thanks, Annalie.
that was
Oh,
it.
okay. Thanks. Hazel, I saw your picture pop up and then it went away. Are you like, but I can't hear you when
Oh,
you've been oh, there.
can you hear me now?
I hear a little
Can you hear
something.
me?
We'll give it a
Can you
try.
hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, give it a try.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm in the library, so I can't talk very loud.
Okay.
Okay. It's just about Melissa's meditation and the golden threads. Because I experienced that this week. Uh, I've been trying to connect with two of the students. Anna and Hattie, the two nonverbal students at college. I don't see them all the time. And yesterday, my timetable was changed. No, Thursday, my timetable was changed, which meant that I was in the same area they were. So
Hmm.
it's the first time I saw them in 2 weeks. And we were going out on a trip in the school bus, and I was sitting behind Hattie. And I said, and I was telepathically trying to tune into Hattie. And I said, Hattie, if you can hear me, can you maybe give me a sign? And I could see she was trying to turn her head. And I felt, okay, so she knows I'm trying to communicate with her. And then all of a sudden, it's like we all stepped into the hill. And she opened up her hands, and like hundreds of blue butterflies just flew up in the air. And
Wow.
I was a bit very conscious about the fact that when I saw Hattie and Anna in these sort of spaces, I was very concerned that I saw them as fully bodied and fully functioning, thinking I was putting, like, it felt wrong. It felt like I was saying that that to see them in a spiritual way, that they were fully bodied. And it took me a while to come to terms with that because I felt I was saying that there was something wrong with them when they were in the form I see them every day. But thanks to you, I put all that aside from the last couple of sessions. So I just totally accepted my own misgivings and everything else, and I saw them as they were. And then I was asking Hattie, how does this work? And this is the bit that taps into Melissa, what Melissa was saying. So I don't know if this is what happens or if she was just showing me an image I could accept or what she sees. I don't know. All I know is it was this massive, massive, huge golden light ball in the sky, and out of it were all these golden threads. They were blue and golden. And this is what she was showing me. This is what was connecting us all, these golden blue threads. And she showed me of like all the other people who were all connecting up, and it was all linking to them from this big, huge, huge, massive, like golden light. And around every person that was linking in, I could see like hundreds of all these different environments. Some were jungle, some were the beach, some were the city. And it was like, this is where all these people were. Maybe not necessarily the reality of where they were in. This is, I guess, maybe what they were showing me of where they were, like all over the world. And then Hattie, like, and anytime I see her here, she's like this like medieval princess. She's just so, it was just dancing and twirling around again. And then Anna, the other pupil, appeared far more solid and grounded, like a really old soul, like a tree energy. It's very calm. And they've been helping me. And I asked them would they help me again. And so we all linked hands, and we just for the fun of it, going back to the inner child stuff, just for the fun of it, we just kept we three of us were holding hands, and we just racing up and down and laughing our heads off, just racing up and down, up and down, up and down, and and then it stopped. Um, and so that was the link that I thought, when Melissa was talking about this light, and I could see all this like long golden threads all connecting to us all. And so I'm getting a bit more confident now. I don't want to
Hmm.
push it because I don't want to let my brain come in and just say you're just making that up or putting anything in the way. So, um, like I kind of like tune in every now and again, and I just say hi Anna, hi Hattie, but I don't do anything more than that because I'm so worried I'll start my brain will take over.
Good
So
for you. Know that you're doing
yeah,
you're regulating yourself at the speed that you're ready to go at, Hattie, and that's Hattie. I'm sorry, Hazel, and that and that's absolutely perfect because as you're feeling in your heart that if you try to rush it, then that is your brain trying to take over and get you off the path.
yeah,
So it sounds like you're
yeah.
really getting the hang of this. So congratulations.
Thank you.
How does that feel?
It feels lovely. It feels like uh, and I'm sure other people experience this feeling of alienation from the place you're living in. And it feels like I'm finally connecting now. I'm finally like connecting to something that's bigger than myself, but that's got people in it as well. That's good.
Yes.
Feels good.
Yeah, and it's only going to get better. Good work. I'm very happy for
Thank
you,
you.
Hazel. Thanks for sharing your success.
Okay, thank you.
Isn't that exciting, guys? Like, I know it's kind of hard to hear, and but my goodness, what she's so many people don't realize how what's possible, how big this can be as we get out of the human brain and up into the higher mind and the connection. I mean, we literally do become everyone. We can see everywhere because we are, in essence, one ocean of consciousness with different streams flowing off in different directions of our own choice. That is amazing. Yes. And to me it's very inspiring because I don't have the ability yet to connect at that broad level that Hazel is connecting at. And that's part of my journey is to let go of my old fears and childhood traumas and PTSD and all that stuff. So very exciting. That's those that gives me chills. Let's see who else. Peter. Yeah, go ahead. You have to unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay, my unmuted, yeah.
Yep. Oh, you're muted.
Unmute
There you go.
there. Yes, okay. Uh, this is what I love about these meetings. All of a sudden, information comes to me that I have pondered on in the past, and all of a sudden, there's some connection or answer. So, what Hazel was saying it gives some a little bit of clarity, maybe. I'm not sure. But something that happened to me during a deep meditation was once I had lost body and sort of had gone into what I would call the void. Um, all of a sudden, I just saw like I call it a ball of light, but it wasn't a ball. It wasn't smooth. It was round and orb in rough shape, but and I was there and I was creating it, but everyone was creating this rough looking orb that just had these tentacles. It was just like this 1,000 more tentacles just coming out and going in and coming out and going in. I didn't really exist anymore. Not Peter. Peter didn't exist, and I was creating it, but everything was creating it. Um, I have never really quite understood it, but maybe what Hazel said gives me a little bit of clarity because as she was describing what she was saying, it was kind of like, oh, okay. Well, that's kind of very much an overlap or very similar to, in some experience of what I was going through. I'll have to reflect on it a bit more. If anyone has anything to say about that, I would love to hear it because I've kind of been sort of in the dark about it since that meditation about a month ago, and I've sort of been like, well, that was beautiful and wonderful, I have no idea what it was, but I really enjoyed being there, wherever there was. I mean, mostly because, it was one of those ego death moments. I didn't exist anymore. I just was blended in with everything. And anyway, that's it. Thank you. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, Peter,
Oh,
if you don't mind.
okay.
Is that all right?
No, of course, of course.
So, what if how it felt was all you needed to know?
How it felt. Well, similar to most of the times when I get into a very deep meditation, when I lose body and lose self, it just it felt very peaceful, but it also felt um, I was going to say exciting, but not exciting, energized.
Hmm.
Energized might be a better word for it. It just felt alive. It just felt like the essence of everything was manifesting. I mean, to date, the only way that I can relate to it is from my near-death experience, which is being in the void and having a few things happen but from the void, everything is possible, everything is limitless, everything is infinite. So to me, when I was back in the void of the meditation, because whenever I meditate, I just ask to let me return to the peace of the void. And sometimes usually there's more that happens, but sometimes that's all that happens, and that's all I ask for, and it's a nice place to be for whatever length of time, an hour maybe. I just kind of saw this plasma tentacle orb.
Hmm.
Um,
And so, are you looking for meaning? I mean, obviously, it felt good to you, right?
am I looking for meaning?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just looking for, if anything, meaning or explanation. Because a lot of times when I go into this meditative state, some strange and wonderful things happen that are just I have no idea. Like Peter, this person has cannot make heads or tails of half of what I'm shown
Well,
or
it
told.
can't. The brain can't
No,
understand multidimensionality because it's only third dimensional.
yeah, I'm
That's why I
beginning
asked.
to.
Well, so,
Yeah,
and if you can tune more into how you feel about the experience and less about what it
yes,
means, then if there's a meaning to be shown, it can come through.
yeah,
That makes sense?
it does. It does.
So
Thank
I've
you.
got an invitation for you then. When we do the telepathy practice here in a little bit, if it feels inspiring to you, you can ask for meaning before you go into the meditation.
It's funny. I do that. Whenever I go into meditation, I just ask for insights and guidance. That's all I ask for, and I receive what I'm given. But I have to say, one of the most distinct messages that I've received, because I get a lot of voice messages that are just shared with me, and one of them is kind of funny, but it was very distinct, very clear, in a kind, firm voice. Simply said to me, "You're not supposed to remember."
Well, there you go.
Um,
Maybe that's
there
your
you
answer.
go.
Well, because remembering is in
Exactly.
the brain, and you don't. If you live in the now moment, then the past is irrelevant.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you're right on
Well,
onto something big for yourself, Peter. I wouldn't change anything. Keep being open to your answers and trust that if you get one in that state, then maybe that's your next puzzle piece. It's an eternal
yeah,
journey. So
yeah.
I
Thank.
appreciate you
Yeah.
sharing it very much. Helps all of
Okay.
us. Thanks.
And thank you. Sorry, was it Hazel that spoke for me?
Yeah, yeah.
Hazel, thank you for sharing that because it kind of just boom brought it up, brought it back. Yeah,
Well, we're all on the
yeah,
same frequency right now, so it's the magic
yeah.
of co-creation.
Coke.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, thank you.
Suze, go ahead.
I had two things I felt like sharing. One, during the meditation, when we were previously talking about childlike wonder, and I think Melissa said some, or she channeled something like, as a child, we just want to feel safe. So if we've had childhood wounds, embracing, looking at our little childlike self and helping that little inner child feel safe is really a wonderful thing you can do for yourself. But at that, and so in the meditation, I had this memory pop into my head of when I was a child. When I was 3, let's say, it was somewhere around 3, I would wake up screaming with nightmares. I obviously was scared to death, and I did this for months. And my mother would come in and comfort me and say, I'm here, you're okay, everything's fine. And then one day, this is the first time in hindsight, didn't understand it then, that my inner being, my higher self or source, reached out to me and put this message in my head. And so I was getting ready to scream. I was approaching that totally fear place as my little 3-year-old self. And I heard this voice, "You're okay, all is well, you're not alone." And it was a nice, soft, comforting voice. It wasn't my mother's, she wasn't there, but I all of a sudden felt safe. And so I felt into that feeling, and I was finally present with myself as a little child. That brought me into my present moment of I'm safe. And then I had another thought. I'm sure Spirit was helping me, that the reason I was scared was because I was associating our dog, believe it or not, our dog, with this black cocker spaniel. She was named Spooky, of all names. Anyway, she used to sleep on the landing that goes down to our basement stairs. And we had no coat closet, so we'd hang our coats on hooks and put our boots on the stairs to go downstairs. Our dog, who slept there, had been knocking the boots down the stairs, and those were the things I was hearing, the steps I was hearing that were getting closer and closer to me, making me afraid. So not only did I have that message, all is well, you're safe, you're not alone, I got the clarity of, oh, it's the dog knocking the boots downstairs. And I never had another nightmare. I didn't scream out to my mom then. It was just like nice to feel safe as a child in my body then. So that was one thing that rolled through my mind. And then because we'd been talking about, one of the things going through the meditation was threads, the thread. And then I remembered, oh, wow, I don't know, 5 years ago or whatever, I wrote a poem. I was awakened in the middle of the night, drawn to go into my office with my computer, which, trust me, that's not where I really want to ever go. I don't like really working on a computer. But I went in there and I started getting this poem, and it was called The Thread. So I dug it out while we were all talking here after, and I thought, oh, I just want to share this because it's so, it incorporates everything we've kind of been talking about, the thread, and it ties us all together. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. It won't be long. There's an invisible thread that ties us together, one that we're not taught about. It gently weaves its way through humanity with every beat of our heart. This invisible thread that connects us all pulses out with each beat of our heart. It ensures us all, one soul at a time, that it's our choices that keep us apart. This thread is unbreakable. It never gives up as it permeates and connects souls in need. It's patiently waiting for us to reach out and accept its warmth and beauty indeed. What is this thread that joins each soul with unending strength from above? It's the one ingredient found in everything wanted. It's the beautiful energy of love. And that's what I wanted to share, because it just brought it all together.
Yeah, exactly. That thread. The
Yeah.
thread is the thing. I love that was sort of the leading visual that came from the meditation, and we're all starting to see from that connected perspective, golden threads. Because I also had, as she said, I had that imagery of the golden threads connecting to everyone on the call. I love that that just demonstrates how much we're on the same frequency here. Thanks for sharing that. Laura, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Good morning, everybody, or evening. I know you're in different places.
Yeah,
This isn't quite as profound as some of the other people's experiences, but
it's all perfect.
when we were doing the meditation, I experienced something similar with the thread. I was reminded of when I was a child, I had a toy. It was modeled on a kind of a Van der Graaf machine. It was something you would get at a cheap little store in the mall, but it was a globe and it had little zappy points where when you touched the outside of the sphere, it would zap
Mm.
outward. I don't remember what those
Yeah,
were called, but
yeah,
it
right.
almost lights like a Christmas light. But I kind of envisioned everyone with the little gold light between us. And while we were talking, I felt particularly strong little pulses from Hazel and Amy. And I don't know either of you in real life, but I kept thinking of your name and feeling these extra little zaps. So it was nice to hear your very profound story about Hattie. That was beautiful. And one other visual, I'll try to keep this short, is that I spin yarn. I like to spin yarn on a drop spindle on a spinning wheel. And it seems to me that when you start, you have this big puff of roving, you have this big like cotton candy cloud. And with intention, kind of like we were doing, you can spin it into this beautiful thread that forms. But if you're too tight and you're too tense and you over concentrate on it, you can break it easily. So it seems like there's this place you go that's kind of meditative and calm, and you just barely hold it. You just barely hold it. You have to almost have to not think about it to get this beautiful thread. And it just struck me that that's maybe kind of how we're connecting. It felt peaceful. It felt almost like if you had your eyes closed, you would know the difference between someone sitting next to you or an empty chair. And it just that image of
Ooh,
spinning a
yeah.
thread made me think of that. And that was all. Thank you.
That's a very subtle, and I think you're right on to something there, Laura. I'm glad you shared that because we're in our head so much, a big loud brain that's constantly trying to direct us and telling us we're small and not safe and unimportant, and blah 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 blah. And it gets so loud because it's so practiced the way we were brought up, and then we take that on and we then practice it ourselves without meaning to. And yet it's the still small voice of God, as they say. It's and the reason that it's called that from a biblical perspective is because that voice never shouts, but it's always present at that level. And so to hear it and to get that guidance, which is the channel to everything else, the telepathy and everything else, we do have to reduce the mind noise down to this low murmur so that then suddenly it becomes obvious. And that's exactly what you just described. So to me, it's a perfect metaphor for what we're talking about here today. Thanks for sharing that. Danielle, go ahead and welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for hosting this, Kevin, and for sharing what you did about at the beginning about your sort of rebranding who you are. Also doing somewhat of the same. I'm wanting to bring more depth and spirituality in some sense to my business, but haven't quite landed on it yet. But I'm open. So um, I wanted to share, I guess, one thing, and then I guess ask for another question. So I had what I think was a success in animal telepathy with two of my cats, actually, but I'll just share about the one. She is very skittish, very sort of solo kind of a cat. She loves being outside, but I don't feel like she ever fully bonded to me. And I just always want to reach her and get closer to her. And so I learned about animal telepathy through the telepathy tapes and just I I got quiet and I was able to just feel I was able to see sort of through the inside of the cage that she was in where I adopted her from. And I felt this intense like panic in my body. So I got this really strong feeling. And I just knew that she felt really scared that I was going to bring her back to that cage. And I reassured her. I'm like, no, you're never gonna have to go in that cage again. I'll keep you safe. And she said, and I heard her say, well, what about people who come over? Because she's very afraid of people who come over. And I was like, no, they're just coming to say, like, they're not gonna put you in that cage. You're with me. And we also talked about like I let her out front a little bit and she seems so afraid. Like the other cats, they kind of hang around, they see me, they're like, "Oh, thanks for letting me outside." And she's more like, "Oh my God, you caught me, I'm out." And like there's something weird about that. So I also told her when I'm letting you out, it's because I know you love to be outside. Like I want you to come back. Like you come back, you live here, you're with me. So I didn't really think anything of it. A couple days later, I had a friend over and we are sitting out in the backyard and she just like walks over to the two of us. My friend stood up, she jumped on my friend's chair and let her pet her and was like kissing her nose. And I mean, this is a cat who does not like other people. And I was like, what is happening? Then later that night, my friend was over, and then a new friend was there. So multiple people in a room. And she came and she walked into the room, was the only cat of the three who walked into the room, walks in, lays down between the two of us, and is just like looking around, just hanging out, like nothing ever happened. I'm like, oh my God, did this actually work? So then the last thing I'll share is that the next day I opened the door to see, okay, where's Frankie? Am I gonna have to like drag her out from under the car or whatever it is? And she just walked in the house of her own accord. I was
Wow.
like, okay. So I don't know. It seems like something happened. Um,
You think?
yeah. And I did ask my other cat, her brother Grayson, I was like, Gray, do you love mommy? Like, do you love me? And ever since I asked him that, he has been sleeping on me, on my bed. Like this cat does not cuddle because he's a Norwegian forest cat. He's hot. He gets really hot. He doesn't like to be hot. And so he was laying on me all night, like laying. I mean, now all of a sudden he's a cuddler. I'm like, oh my goodness. So it was just a really wild shift I saw really quickly.
Wow, and a wild shift in you that you opened up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's possible now for you?
I mean, my goal is to be able to I mean, I guess I have one little goal, but overall I would love to keep expanding on this because I love animals. But this is kind of where I wanted to just comment to Melissa. I really want to contact my former cat Sadie, who I lost, and there's no closure with what happened to her. Um, and that was very traumatizing for me. And I feel like I would love to be able to connect with my Sadie. And it's interesting that your cat's name is Harley, Melissa, because my parents have a dog. Now my New York accent's going to come out. My parents have a dog named Harley. And he passed, and I was like, "Oh, that's so interesting, like the name and how you connect with animals and stuff." So, yeah, I it's like I get really emotional thinking about even connecting with Sadie, so I don't know if that would be something that I would be able to do, but
Well, if it's
I
on your mind, then there's something there for you. So my
oh yeah,
invitation
it's
is
on
to,
my mind.
yeah, we'll follow the breadcrumbs, trust your guidance, and I know Melissa would be open to chatting with you in some
Yeah.
capacity.
I would love to. And yes, you're connecting and it's amazing and it's lovely. And when you'll know when it's the right time to
Mhm.
with your baby. But that story lit me up too. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
By all means, connect with anybody on the call through Facebook or whatever if you if you feel inspired to. Because
Yeah,
part of
thank
what we're doing here is opening up the doors, allowing ourselves to feel free and open and trust ourselves. And the next level is then building the community, connecting with each other. So I always invite people to do that. Thanks for
you.
sharing your story, Danielle. So
Sure, thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you so much for your listening and responses and holding space and validating this I feel like this is a good group to share this in and I'm really happy that I found this group. I found this group through I think the other Melissa who was on Alex X podcast. And so yeah, I'm really excited to get connected with you all. So nice to
We're
meet.
excited to have you here. Thanks, Danielle.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Isn't this fun, guys? My goodness. I never get tired of this. Like I could do this the rest of my life. It would always be fun. Jody, and then once you're done, Jody, then I think we'll go into the the telepathic connection. Go ahead.
Hey. Hi, just checking in for voice. You able
Yeah,
to hear?
you sound great. Yep.
Great, thank you. So I want to tap back into that awareness of subtle energy. In short, this week I had knee surgery that couldn't progress as planned, but of course, you know, I had that surgery, body invasiveness. And coming home, of course, I'm visiting everything forward that I can do for my body, which is the exercises that were given me, along with my strong background of yoga and athletics. I'm practicing the exercises, and because I'm unable to be out in the world now, don't have as much mobility. I have to rest at home. I'm noticing that I'm reminded again that dropping into body awareness is extremely calming for the nervous system. You know, even just moments of it. My cat's dropping in. um, but what I did was, through my practice now in exercise, I went deeper. I went more subtle, and a slowing down and a calming. And as I went more slower and subtle, I found that brought me into alignment with awareness. And that awareness was a window of possibility. And I love Danielle's her talk about the thread, because that's where you have to hold it there. And so I've been practicing that, and it's just amazing. I'm just being amazed right now with it. And I've always known, as Peter has said too, that everything is a possibility. I think all of you believe that as well. But it was holding that and bringing it into alignment with awareness that I could feel it open the window to possibility.
And so do you feel more empowered now within yourself to create that possibility?
I feel like it's more of an alignment and just aligning. It's not like I have to feel more powerful. It's just aligning myself. And like Danielle says, not too tight, not too loose.
So you're ready to, now that you're finding ways to do that alignment, you're ready to trust then what comes will be good for you?
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, I think you got the magic formula figured out.
Well, you guys all brought it together.
Well, we co-created it.
You all brought it together. I couldn't be there without you, or whatever. Where am I? I'm here. My cat's in my lap. All my cats love these sessions, by the way. They all come around. I now have, okay.
They love good energy. They're not afraid to find it.
Oh, they do. When I work with my clients who are autistic, and my energy is raised up, and so they always just stick to me like Velcro afterwards.
Yeah, be more like a cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jody. All right. I see one more hand. If we got to get to the meditation, but if you can make it quick, Rachel. No, it's hard to unmute. Let me help you here.
Okay, I'll keep this quick. So I'm pet sitting, and I pet sitted these dogs before. There's two older German Shepherds and then two younger retrievers. Anyways, I try and telepathically talk to each of the dogs. And there's King, the oldest German Shepherd. He can hear me. I'm not kidding, because he turns his head and he looks at me. And so it's just really neat that I can have this connection with them. So I'm playing with it, and it's kind of fun. So I just wanted to share really quickly. Thank you.
Nice. No, I'm very excited for you. And I'd be interested to know as you progress, what you might feel from them as you open up, kind of like what Danielle was talking about. And that's sharing that maybe in the future calls, how it progresses will be very encouraging to other people on the call to be able to do that.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rachel. Huh. Yes. We're all on the path. And thanks for all you guys for sharing your experiences. And that to me, what that encourages me, inspires me to look more deeply and do more of the aligning work that you're doing. So this is what we're about here. And so let's take the remaining time here to do one more meditation. This will be brief, and we'll just basically go deeper if we can. Trust that whatever comes up for you is right. I do invite you, of course, and it's got to be my favorite time on the clock here. I invite you not to try to make anything happen. We're here to just kind of relax into it like you did before, but maybe deeper now. Don't be afraid to have the pen and paper or phone app or something to take notes if you want to when you're done, or even in between. If you get something powerful and you can't wait, then go ahead and record it. One of my friends, Stephen May, who posts a lot in the group, he says, presume that you're competent in this area, in this natural state of being. So just presume things are going to work out for you. No need for any effort. You don't need to accomplish anything. Whatever shows up or happens is perfect for where you're at in your evolution. So please, no comparisons with each other. A couple ideas. If you want to do direct telepathy, you can think of somebody or an animal or so forth that you want to chat with and just kind of gently put that out there and then let go of any attachment to the connection, see what happens. You can invite general messages from higher consciousness, spirit, source. Again, then detach and become present and allow it in. And I did last time. I drew a simple symbol on a piece of paper, and I just focus on it for a moment. You can try tapping into me, and see if you can pick up the image that I'm staring at for a moment or two, and see what comes up. And then, if you get any kind of imagery, then just write it down on your piece of paper and see how close you get. Remember, this is practice, not perfection. So no self-judgments about this. We're all on the same journey here. Or whatever you want to try is all perfect. All right, well, that is the magic. So let's get into our relaxed state here. Get quiet, peaceful, settle in, adjust until we feel nice and comfortable. And as we close our eyes, take a nice deep breath in. Hold it and exhale, breathing the air completely out of our lungs. And then back in again. And as we breathe out, we begin gently releasing our thoughts, stepping out of time, and dropping into the present, into the now moment. And each breath takes us a little deeper, a little bit more relaxed. Just surrendering into this natural ebb and flow of beautiful, loving, universal consciousness that's always around us, supporting us, carrying us, helping us to move forward gently and easily, without effort, without struggle, just completely letting go and enjoying this beautiful surrounding supportive energy. And as my voice drifts off, just allow yourself to move into the soft and gentle telepathic state and see what comes to you. You can interact with it if you want, or just let it come to you. Whatever feels perfect for you will be perfect for you. And I'll come back on here in a few minutes, maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes, whenever the impulse is right, and we'll see what happens. And now it's time to come back to your body and to your conscious awareness. No rush, but as soon as you're ready to step into your body, go ahead and do so. Open your eyes. And then whatever you experienced, feel free to write that down. If you got an image or images, go ahead and draw them or type them into the chat window if you like. Take a moment to capture that, and then we'll do a little sharing here. And remember, whatever you received is what's valid for you. So it doesn't matter what you receive. All that matters is that you honor it. It really felt good to me. I really enjoyed that one. Immediately, I got, we were talking about little Kevin, the inner child, showing up at the beginning. And little Kevin showed up again and said, thank you. And also was glad that I was here and that he felt safe. That felt really good. I also felt all of your energies, particularly Scott showed up, Hazel showed up, and a few others. And so, what was your experience? I know, Scott, you are going to tell your kid communication experience. Maybe while people are writing down their experiences, if there's still stuff to capture. If you want to go ahead, Scott, you're welcome to. If you're not ready, that's okay.
I was drawing the image of what I think you may have doodled. So,
Okay.
well, as soon as you said that, an image popped into my head. This is not a good representation, so I'll describe it better. I don't know. It was a circle. It wasn't quite a perfect circle up at the top. With even and actually, Laura, same way, multiple trips around it, with the top one coming inward a little bit, not staying with the group. That's what popped into my head the second you said an image. But so I either tapped into Laura or I tapped into you or we both tapped into you.
We'll find out.
But so this experience, I couldn't wait to share with the right group of people. And it's right up to the things that we do or are trying to learn to do. So I'll make it as quick as possible. I'm in Walmart. I turn down the condiment aisle, and there is this group of four women and multiple carts and a baby, and pretty much got the whole aisle just chunked up, blocked, you know. And they're all apologetic. Oh, excuse me. I said, no. I said, looks like I'm late for the meeting. You know, I'm joking with them just to lighten it up. So, and then I immediately noticed the baby that is, I'm going to say a year, give or take a few months. I don't think she couldn't have been much more than, if even yet, a year old. Immediately, my attention is psychically, telepathically drawn to the baby. But um, so the I don't know which one was the mom of the baby, but I think it was the mom that said, "Yeah, no, you're right on time for the meeting." And the women kind of part a little bit, and then they kept talking. Most of them kept talking, and then what I think was the mom of the kid said, "Yeah," and in fact, pointing to the kid, said, "She's running the meeting." I said, "Yeah, she's." Good. I'm glad y'all recognize her notes and everything from her PowerPoint she put together and something like that. I was continuing the joke, but at that point, I had already turned, looked right in the kid's eyes, and the kid immediately noticed I was talking to her. And I was like, oh my gosh, like you are so fresh from the light. How exciting. And I'm like, now listen, if there's any advice I can give you, take everything that you still remember right now and work as hard as you can to carry it with you your whole lifetime. And so I was just like jubilantly talking to this kid while trying to carry on this conversation with all the other people. And I could tell the kid was engaged because she kept looking at me. And so then at the end of all that, of me just like giving her this, all right, we'll call it coaching, Kevin, giving her this inspirational talk. I put my hand up. I said, high five. And the little kid goes, and insert screeching tire sound here. they all stop and they turn and they look. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I know you can't see me. They all look and they go, they're like, did she just give you a high five? And I said, yeah. She goes, they were speechless. They said, she is so shy. She doesn't talk to anybody. They were like, I said, well, I'm not just anybody. In fact, I said, I'm not even from this planet, but that's a whole nother story. And then smiled and walked off. But
Wow.
that was priceless. I couldn't wait to tell you that me and that kid connected big time. And the kid, you could see the shock on the kid's face, like, you're talking to me. I can actually hear you talking. I could hear the shock of the kid, like, wow, you know.
And nobody ever gets me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
And
that's
I've
about when
been
it
trying.
starts, right? 3 years
Yeah.
old.
So I hope, I hope she can carry that again. I could just see all of her, what she carried into this lifetime and all those memories. And I'm like, just hang on to that was the
Yeah.
encouragement I gave her. Stay a kid. That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, Scott. And I've had a few engagements like that myself recently, but I didn't quite get to that. Like it was more just that fixed eye contact where you could just feel the connection there. And so you're encouraging me now to actually just open the dialogue in my mind and see how it unfolds. Thank you for that. That's always so fun. Because you never get tired of it. Because I keep saying that. Let's see. Do we have it? Sure. Suzanne says image is a infinity sign. Yeah, fresh from the light. And then Amy says, always trying to connect with non-speaking son Peter, told by someone that he's an angel incarnate. Yeah, I can believe that. So holder of the color blue. In my mind's eye, I kept seeing blue color, almost purplish blue, very grounded. Yes, which he uses you to help balance his body. Yeah, there's a lot to be said in that, where helping the those more on the spectrum, particularly non-speakers, to find their body through us grounding and supporting that energy. Sounds like you're right on track, Amy, for what he needs. See, so I don't have any experience with telepathy. Yeah, I bet you do have experiences with telepathy. You just might be calling it something different to start. Like mother's intuition, for instance, is a big one. It's like almost every mother, it has some level of intuition with their kids. They just don't. They just call it. Well, I know what the kid wants or what they want. But I think you're right. If you're in this group, you're right on that edge of starting to have the direct messages. So I'm very excited for you. I have no doubt that that's going to happen. Oh, Melissa says that she connected with Peter. Oh, wow. Yes. Thanks, Melissa, for jumping in. Open up. And Rachel says she saw a star and ampersand and a star. Okay. Gotcha. Well, this has been very interesting. So here's what I drew. And before you beat yourselves up, hang on a second. I'm going to highlight myself for a second if I can find the right button. There we go. So does that mean everybody was wrong? No, it means you tapped into each other, as I think Laura just was it Laura just said that. Yeah. And if you did get that, then great. And if you didn't, then you tapped in someplace else. So there's so much to be said for trusting the imagery and the messages that you personally get because they have meaning to you. And telepathy isn't about, strong arming a connection with something. It's about trusting and opening to what does come through and trusting that if it does come through, it'll be the right thing for you. And I don't doubt that some of you had some similar imagery like that if you went, if you dive a little bit more deeply. Yeah, Suzanne, go ahead, and then we'll wrap up here. Unmute yourself.
So the image that came to me was obviously about me in hindsight. I had the infinity sign. But at one point in there, I asked, so who has a message for me? And I got quiet, and the message came, it's all inside of you, Suzanne. It's always been there. The messages are found within, always been and always will be in here. So that's like infinity. We always are one with ourselves.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So the message came through both imagery and then after that came through
so
verbal message. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So trust the message. Trust what comes to you is always going to be the right message.
Yeah.
Anita says got a triangle. So yes, you got the top half of the image is a triangle, and we had that last time too. Like Suzanne got, I had a 6-pointed star, which is basically two triangles, kind of rotated, and she got one triangle in that. And so exactly. Ah, what a wonderful conversation here, guys. I wish we could keep talking all day. Maybe someday we will, but not today. So thanks for sharing your beautiful insights and experiences, playing around with us with this beautiful energy of telepathy and beyond. Uh, it's this has I feel there's a bursting of energy each time we do these. There's something more that even wants to be expressed, and certainly through me. I've been called for a long time to make this bigger somehow. I don't have the answer quite yet, but I'm starting to get breadcrumbs are showing up. So I don't know what that looks like, but all I know is that we're on a fantastic path for ourselves, and by extension, the rest of humanity who are waking up, but they haven't gotten to this point of our evolution. So be proud of yourselves, who you are, where you've come, the fact that you're showing up here and trusting yourselves, becoming vulnerable. There's such power in that, and you'll build your confidence quickly. Let it be validation that you need to step confidently into expressing yourself in whatever new next way shows up for you, and know that you're always supported by the entirety of the universe, and certainly by us as well. So thanks for being here and contributing to this beautiful energy. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, namaste. We love you guys. Have a great week and weekend. Take care. Bye for now.